Hello fellas, this is going to be a video series where I go through the installation of box experience and how beginner friendly a distro is. At the end of the video I will say if they pass the check of being beginner friendly. All of these will be installed on a virtual machine, so the experience across the series will be similar. In this episode we go through a distribution that is rather not known for being beginner friendly, but instead being known for their performance. This distro got suggested by Grimsmile. Thank you for the suggestion. This is the first distribution that is not based on Ubuntu or Debian, but instead based on Arch. So let's see if it's suited for beginners. On the website we agreed with installing Cachy OS. After that, we can pick between two editions of Cachy OS, one being for the normal desktop and the other being a handheld version for devices like the Steam Deck and ROG Ally. And from there we can even choose from installing it from directly the website, SourceForge, Magnet, that is through the torrent client, torrent again but with the difference that we download a torrent file, and to download a checksum or a signature to check if those images are valid and good to use. Cachy OS is emphasizing on optimization, so we might have something faster than the distros before. The ISO image this time is 2.8 GB, currently the smallest in the series when it comes to this setup, again with 4 cores, 4 GB of RAM and 50 GB of storage space. I'm doing this kind of setup to go with the average low-end laptop. First thing I noticed was we were greeted with the live user login, and after a bit of googling it takes no password, so you can just press enter. Bit confusing, but that's fine. Also there's a bug with X11 George, so don't forget to switch to Wayland. Something that is new to me is that we can choose between two bootloaders, Grub and Limine. If you're, by the way, looking at this and don't know what to pick, I could totally say that Limine is lighter compared to Grub, but Grub is rich with features. I chose Grub. Got through the usual keyboard layout, time zone setup, disk partitioning, and we got to choose the desktop environments. Also what I really like is that they show how they look like. I chose KDE Plasma since this is the default. What I like right now is that in the additional packages we can choose another desktop environment in case we want to try some others. And of course the account creation, and now we wait for the installer to do its thing. While the installer, I noticed something that is that the firewall, in this case UFW or uncomplicated firewall, is enabled by default and there is a secure configuration for Firefox. So not only are they emphasizing on the performance, but also on security, which is nice. While it installs, I have to say the installer itself is beginner friendly, but can have a bit of a better impact if you know what everything is. It's not ultra beginner friendly, but if you have a bit of interest in Linux, you can learn something new. But on the broad surface, it's very straightforward and gets a pass here. So when it comes to the out-of-the-box experience, we got some of the KDE Plasma programs like Dolphin, Consoles, Back2Call to take screenshots, a system monitor, WinView to have some very basic image editing and viewing. Also KWrite, Kate is a text editor. Sadly though it doesn't have Discovery, which is the GUI package manager, but it got its own GUI package manager and it has Octopi, which is really nice. Also, it has a GUI kernel manager, which is also really nice. Looking at the Cachy OS welcome program, the program that you start Cachy OS with, there are two buttons that are amazing, one of them being apps and tweaks, which allows you to make a system update or merge again, change the DNS server, installing gaming packages, reinstalling all packages, reset the keyring, and redirect you to the kernel manager and package installer. The other button named Install Apps just redirects you to the Cachy OS package installer, which is really neat. While it is Arch based, people say that it's more stable than something like Manjaro. Thanks to the BTRFS, in case you chose that file system, BTRFS is known for its snapshots so that you can easily roll back in case something fails. It has a GUI for updating packages and installing, and it's out of the box so you don't have to install something fancy. This gets a pass on the out of the box experience, and like I said, while it is Arch based, it's still not considered beginner friendly because it is Arch based. That means you're going to have some issues when updating at some point where you have to open the terminal. That doesn't mean that it's not good for beginners who are ready to learn Linux. Also, a thing I really like is like, when it comes to customization, like, usually it's really basic, but Cachy OS has some really nice, I would say built-in themes and customization. For example, we have the classic Breeze themes from KDA. The Cachy OS Nord one is really beautiful. Oh yeah, this looks nice. Like, all this looks really nice. Even this one. Login screen. Boot screen. Yeah, let's have this. We can even change the... This is like nothing new, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Even if we go back to like wallpapers, Cachy OS has some really nice cool wallpapers. Like, for example, this one. This is just straight up an homage on Sonic. Like, this looks really cool. And the rest of them are pretty basic, honestly, but still they look really cool. Also, looking back at like the Cachy OS programs, we got stuff like Cachy OS Hello Desktop, which is like here we can look at the apps and tweaks, system update, and all that stuff we need. Even change the DNS server to like, I don't know, something like Edgard. Why? And this is, yep. This is just really neat. Like, the fact that you don't have to go into the terminal at all to like system update, install packages, change even a DNS server. Or we go to the package installer, which is also really neat. Or go here to the repo, type something like desktop, which you might want, which is like Discord or Vanguard. This is really cool, and you don't have to use the terminal, so this gets really a pass for me. Here you got your other KDE programs like Godolphin, Gwenview, Kate, Console, while you do got Cachy installed, which is, in my opinion, the better terminal emulator. But like, this is really cool, honestly. Like, honestly, Cachy OS is pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye.